What up, crew? Welcome back on the channel. I hope you're ready to take a look at this new linear fill today. The idea behind the 7 pattern was to put together a number of cells that we were already familiar with, so that we didn't have to complicate our life too much in terms of what we're playing. It's really easy to get into the rabbit hole of trying to find the perfect pattern, whatever that even means, in order to create something that no one's ever heard before. Sure, the never ending quest of trying to find new musical things is completely healthy, in my opinion. But sometimes we don't really have to look that far away from us. As a matter of fact, I already did a video on how to come up with things with what you already have, so I'll leave that in the description. So, with that idea in mind, let's get to the construction of the fill. The pattern itself is just made up of two very simple linear cells that pretty much everyone knows. The first one is a 4-note cell, which will be right, left, left, kick. And the second one will be a 3-note grouping, which will be right, left, kick. The pattern itself is really just made up of two very simple linear cells that pretty much anyone knows. The first one will be a 4-note grouping, which will be right, left, left, kick. And the second one will be a 3-note grouping, which will be right, left, kick. Okay, now that we know the elements that our fill will be based upon, let's take the whole 7 pattern and loop it just on the snare drum in 16th notes. Alright, once we're comfortable doing that, let's try to use that as an actual 1-bar fill, which is the length that our fill will be based upon. So let's keep it on the snare, and let's play 1 bar of groove and 1 bar of fill. Alright, once we feel comfortable with this, let's start to orchestrate it. As I generally do with this type of odd groupings, I will give you two orchestrations. The first one will have a more polyrhythmical approach, where you will actually feel the pattern moving over the beats, while the second one will have some kind of a lighter touch to the ear, resulting in a more normal sounding fill. So for the first one, the more polyrhythmical fill, let's just talk about the way we'll be orchestrating the 7 notes. And then we'll loop those notes until we finally come back on the 1 of the following bar. The pattern will be orchestrated this way. We start with 1 right hand on the floor tom, then 2 ghost notes on the snare with our left hand, then our kick, then right hand on the rack tom, left hand on the snare, and another kick. All right, let's hear the whole thing orchestrated at 3 different speeds. Perfect. Let's go with the second orchestration. As I previously mentioned, this one will aim for a more traditional sounding vibe. And in order to do so, my intention will be to always keep a snare on 2 and 4 as a backbeat while orchestrating the fill. So here's the new orchestration. We'll start on beat 1 with one right hand on the floor tom, two left hands on the snare as ghost notes, and one kick. Beat 2 will be right hand on the snare drum, left hand on the tom, kick, and then right hand on the tom. Then beat 3 will be two ghost notes with our left hand, kick, and the right hand on the floor tom. And finally, beat 4 will be left hand on the snare drum, kick, and then right left on the floor tom. All right, now let's hear it in a groove context at 3 different speeds. All right, that's all I have for you today, people. Next week, we'll be looking at another application for the 7 pattern, so subscribe if you want to know more about it. Meanwhile, have fun with this one, and I'll see you next Saturday.